in US, right? So this is some worry that the Chinese government has. The culture of each country, right? How each government runs this country will eventually be reflected into this brain.
It is absolutely clear that at the highest levels of leadership in the United States and in China, artificial intelligence is viewed as foundational to the future of economic and military power.
The OpenAI people have a head start on this whole learning process. As you know, is all learned by algorithms, right? The learning process is a multiplicative process. And so once you have a head start, it's very difficult for the latecomers to catch up with you. So there's already a gap in between the technology level that is being offered by OpenAI and the Chinese equivalent.
What if I told you that Chinese firms bypass strict US export controls and quietly gain access to cutting-edge American technology? Yes, the very technology that the US government has gone to great lengths to protect. They're not stealing it through espionage or black market channels. Instead, they're using a far more sophisticated and controversial method, cloud computing services. And here's where it gets even more provocative. Amazon Web Services Oz, one of the largest cloud providers in the world, is at the center of this storm. Welcome to our channel, where we dive deep into global tech controversies and expose the untold truths behind major developments. Today, we're peeling back the layers of a story that could change how we view national security and big tech. The idea that US export regulations designed to safeguard national security are being exploited by China via U.S.-based platforms is nothing short of a scandal. How could this happen? How are tech giants like Oz enabling China to access restricted US technology right under our noses? Stay with us until the end. This is just the beginning of a very troubling story. Chinese firms accessing top US tech via Oz. For years, the US government has been locked in a technological arms race with China, with concerns over China's rapid advancements in artificial intelligence, AI, and its military capabilities. The US imposed strict export controls on high-end AI chips. These regulations were intended to cripple China's access to advanced AI technologies that could give their military an edge. But here's the shocking truth. China is still getting its hands on these technologies, and they're using US cloud providers like Oz to do it. Through cloud computing services, Chinese firms are circumventing export controls. Instead of directly importing advanced AI chips or hardware banned by the US, they are accessing them remotely through cloud services provided by companies like Amazon Web Services. These cloud servers, often powered by restricted AI chips, such as Nvidia's A100 and H100, enable Chinese organizations to access and use cutting-edge technology that should be out of their reach. The Loophole: How China Exploits US Cloud Providers.
World AI Congress in Shanghai. And during that conference, there was 30 large language models released on one day. Some from big companies like Tencent, Alibaba, Baidu, some also from like middle-sized companies from different industry even, right? For example, from bank.
I feel that it's very difficult to separate the politics from a data governance or data privacy kind of conversation. And Chinese companies will always have that perception problem that, you know, the data they collect will be used for purposes other than purely commercial, or maybe used for purposes that don't fit either the EU or the US frameworks, even if the truth is something else.
Here's where things get even murkier. While the US export controls specifically restrict the direct export or transfer of tangible goods, software, or technology to China, they do not cover remote access via cloud services. This loophole has effectively allowed Chinese firms to sidestep the bans. By using cloud servers based outside of China but powered by US tech, Chinese companies are acquiring restricted AI capabilities without ever needing to import physical chips. Let that sink in for a moment. US export regulations are failing to stop China from accessing the very technology they were designed to block. The implications for national security are alarming. Evidence of China's access to US tech. A Reuters investigation reviewed over 50 Chinese public tender documents and found that 11 Chinese entities had sought access to restricted US technologies or cloud services in the past year. In at least 4 cases, Oz was named as the preferred cloud provider. though the access was arranged through local Chinese intermediaries. One notable example is Shenzhen University, which spent around 200,000 yuan, approximately $28,000, to access cloud servers powered by Nvidia A100 and H100 chips. These chips are some of the most advanced AI processors available, and they have been explicitly banned from exporting to China yet. Through cloud services, Chinese organizations can tap into their immense computational power. Let's not mince words. This is a direct affront to U.S. export controls. Chinese entities are gaming the system, and they're doing it with the help of U.S. companies. And this isn't just a minor issue. Oz holds a dominant share of the global cloud market, accounting for around 1/3 of the industry. That's the same market share as Microsoft and Google combined. So when Oz is implicated, it's not just a minor player bending the rules, it's a titan of the tech world enabling this access. Oz and U.S. law compliance, a gray area. Now, you might be wondering how Amazon can allow this to happen. Oz, after all, is a U.S.-based company and must comply with all U.S. laws. In response to these concerns, Oz maintains that it complies with all applicable U.S. laws. The company asserts that its cloud services adhere to regulations, but here's where things get dicey. Cloud service access doesn't necessarily involve the export of physical goods, which is what U.S. laws typically regulate. This legal gray area has allowed Oz and other cloud providers to offer services to Chinese entities without directly violating export controls. But make no mistake, this doesn't mean the U.S. government is turning a blind eye. In fact, the loophole is attracting increasing scrutiny from lawmakers who are proposing new measures to regulate remote access to U.S. technologies via cloud services. The impact on national security and AI race. The fact that Chinese entities continue to access advanced U.S. technology through Oz is not just a bureaucratic oversight, it's a serious national security concern. The U.S. government's primary aim in restricting high-end AI chips was to limit China's ability to further its military advancements. Yet, as this cloud loophole remains open, China is effectively continuing to advance in the AI arms race. By gaining access to these chips through cloud services, China is likely using them to enhance everything from military AI research to surveillance technologies. And this raises a very troubling question: how effective are U.S. export controls if China can so easily get around them?
Since 2012, Europe and US started to implement anti-dumping and anti-subsidy program against China. As a result, there are more restrictive measures against China's exports.
美国要加大对中国的光伏产品的进口的这个税收，这件事情呢干了好多次了。这是因为美国为了保护它自己的光伏企业，因为美国的光伏企业的成本显著的高于中国的光伏企业的成本。 所以呢，这个它对中国的产品有这样的一个竞争。
Mostly the European demand that had triggered China's investment in the whole renewable energy sector.
中国当时主要的商业模式就是从国外买来原料买来设备，利用国外的一些领先的技术，然后加工成现成的产品，再返销到国外。
It's no secret that China has made significant investments in AI and technology. By 2025, the country plans to launch a huge national computing initiative to further bolster its capabilities. With continued access to advanced U.S. technologies via cloud services, China is positioning itself to become a dominant player in the global AIs, and the U.S. is inadvertently helping. What's next? Will the U.S. close the loophole? The U.S. government is not entirely oblivious to what's going on. There's growing concern among lawmakers about the effectiveness of current export restrictions. New legislative proposals are being drafted to close the loophole and regulate remote access to U.S. technologies via cloud services. However, the question remains, will these measures come in time to prevent further access by China? The longer this loophole remains open, the more China will continue to benefit from U.S. technology, and the more the U.S. risks falling behind in the AI race. The stakes couldn't be higher. As the global AI race intensifies, the U.S. finds itself in a precarious position. On one hand, it is working tirelessly to prevent China from acquiring advanced technology that could be used for military purposes. On the other hand, U.S.-based cloud providers are unknowingly, or perhaps knowingly, enabling China to access these technologies. The loophole allowing China to gain access through Oz must be addressed, and it must be addressed quickly. The U.S. export controls were designed to keep advanced AI technologies out of China's hands But as it stands, those controls are failing. Will lawmakers and tech giants take action to close the loophole? Or will China continue to gain an edge in the AI race with the help of US technology? Only time will tell. If you found this topic as concerning as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with more critical issues like this one. Stay tuned to see how this technological battle unfolds.